Hi everybody, I'm Nate Moore. This is Excel video 187. What I have here today is some OR start times. So let's assume that out of somebody's system we're able to dump out the start times and the day of the week that the case was, whether you're on the anesthesia side or the surgical side. Here's the time the doctor started, here's the date, and here's the location. This practice, let's just assume to make it easy, goes to an ASC and a hospital, one of each. So what we want to do is do some kind of analysis to look at start times by location. Do my start times change whether I'm in the ASC or whether I'm in the hospital? And do they change by the day of the week? And with enough help and some random numbers, you can make things change like that. And that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing we might do is look at an average start time. So if you go down here, I think I've got, 100 or so in my sample size. So if we look at those 100, the average start time is simply the average function from A4 to A103. That's easy, and you can just put in the range of numbers there, A4 to A103. We're going to get an average, and the good people at Excel are going to convert that weird decimal into 8:19 a.m. That's what we need to know. So our average start time is 8:19. What we can do is we can look at that 8:19 start time and compare it by day of the week. And to do that, we're going to use the AVERAGEIF function. Very similar to SUMIF and COUNTIF. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the range that we're going to average. This is a lot more like SUMIF. Remember where you've got the range up here that may or may not be the same thing that you're averaging. This is the range where we're looking for the criteria. And the criteria is B4 to B103. Let's drag that a little bit further. So here's column B. So we're looking at days of the week. And the criteria is D9. Let's drag it down this way now so you can see. The D9 says I'm going to look at Monday, and I'm not going to lock in that criteria either way, because when I'm done with this formula, I'm just going to copy it down and it'll look at D10, D11, D12, all the way down, look at the days of the week. And then my average range is from A4 to A103. The same thing I was averaging above when I got 8:19 a.m. overall. I'm going to look at the average range of these days where the criteria, Monday, is met in column B. And when I click OK, I'm going to get 7:04 a.m. And again, I can copy this formula down, and I can see that I start really early on Monday morning, pretty early on Thursday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe I don't have the first block or some issue, and Friday I don't know what's wrong with Friday, but I start a lot later on Friday. Almost 10 o'clock is my average start time versus 8:19 on an average day of the week. And so we can use that same AVERAGEIF formula one more time down here to say, well, maybe it's driven by location. Maybe I start early at the hospital or at the ASC, and sure enough, I start earlier at the ASC. And the way I did that was the very same way. All I did was say AVERAGEIF, and my range this time is column C, where my location is. So I'm going to look at the locations, and if my location matches what's in cell D15, which is down here, which is the hospital, then my average range is the same thing, A4 to A103. And I can copy this formula down too, because I locked in my ranges in column C and I locked in column A with those dollar signs, and I just let the criteria move as I copy it. And so I can see, hey, I start a lot earlier at the ASC, about almost an hour, an hour and 15 minutes earlier than I do at the hospital. And now I can make some analysis and make some changes and say, hey, if I've got a problem on Friday, I can look at it by hospital, by ASC, and start to do some analysis and change or fix things as I need to. That's what I wanted to show you about AVERAGEIF. We're going to do that analysis and make this piece down here work, where we're going to look at by day of the week, by location, which start times are better or worse. And we'll do that all next time. Thanks for watching.